On this edition of NewsTeam Boulder for Wednesday, April 26, an update on the Williams Village armed robbery.
Laundry issues for students living in one of our dorms on campus.
And cold weather won't stop these fishermen. All that and more coming up on NewsTeam Boulder. Welcome to the second to last episode of NewsTeam Boulder this season. I'm Piper Vaughn.
And I'm Mimi Herrick. First up, we have updates on the armed robbery at Williams Village. Early Tuesday morning, a CU alert was sent out about an armed robbery at Williams Village where shots were fired. NewsTeam's Nick Monroy is at the scene with more.
Thanks, guys. I'm here outside the Williams Village residence halls with the latest update from University of Colorado Police on the incident which took place here early Tuesday morning. CUPD says that approximately 2:30 a.m., two suspects attempted to rob a CU student here in the Williams Village parking lot. As the student ran, the suspects fired two shots before fleeing in a white Jeep Cherokee. The suspects are described as two Hispanic males between 5'5" and 5'7". Both were wearing black hoodies with black bandanas covering their faces. Now, while there was no reported injuries and no ongoing threat to campus, many students are still feeling on edge with this latest incident.
I live in Williams Village North in this building right here. It was during the middle of the night, so I was asleep, but I did hear about it and it was big commotion. They sent out an alert on our phones about the shots being fired, and there was a big police presence in the middle of the night. Definitely a little scary. I mean, someone just coming to campus like shooting a gun is pretty scary. You never know what can happen. But glad that everybody's okay and nobody got injured.
Anyone with information on this incident is asked to call CU Boulder Police. For NewsTeam Boulder, this is Nick Monroy.
Last October, police responded to shots fired on the Hill. 7 months later, the trial date is set. Defendant Gabriel Sharma pleaded not guilty to attempted first-degree murder Monday. His trial is set for October 23rd. Sharma is still in custody on a $500,000 bond. His co-defendant, Saki Lucas's arraignment is scheduled for Friday.
Wednesday evening, 20-year-old Alexa Bartell was killed in Jefferson County. Bartell was driving northbound on Indiana Street in the 10600 block when a softball-sized rock was intentionally thrown through her windshield. Her attack was linked to several others in the area, in which two others were injured. Since Wednesday night's fatal attack, Jefferson County Sheriff's Department says that there have been reports of 2 more rock attacks, bringing the total to 7. Anyone with information is asked to call the Jeffco Sheriff's tip line at 303-271-5612. After the break, NewsTeam's Derek Hernandez investigates why loads of students aren't unable to throw in the towel in the dorms.
Stay tuned. In case you missed it, here are some CU News headlines.
This weekend, the women's water polo team won their conference championships and are heading out to nationals at UCLA.
Imagine artificial muscles similar to grocery bags. CU graduate student Ellen Remley did just that by creating a robot that mimics muscles. Ellen and a team of engineers create a higher performance decomposition by combining the pillow function of the robot from Big Hero 6 and grocery bags.
Ready for this hot story? CU Boulder's Rocio Deanna and Abel Campos have discovered a chili pepper fossil that may help rewrite the evolutionary timeline of the tomato plant family.
How would you feel about learning about the dark ages of the early universe and the very first star? Well, then we have good news. As early as 2030, Lunar Resources will start construction on Fairview. This is an observatory that will be on the moon made out of entirely of the moon's surface. It'll open up opportunities to explore the dark ages of the universe and how we can utilize the moon to benefit mankind.
Laundry day is an important part of many students' weeks. But what happens when they can barely get their clothes dry without a struggle? We go to Derek Hernandez for more.
Engineering is a large part of CU's campus, with many of the majors living here in the engineering quad. The quad is made up of 4 dorms: Crosman, Aiden, Brackett, and Cockrell. With countless hours of studying, the last thing these students want to think about is, will I get my laundry done for the week? But that is the question that many students here face, especially at Cockrell Hall.
Let's say you're an engineering student at Cockrell Hall. In between studying, you decide to throw in a load of laundry. So you gather your things, gather your quarters, and you throw them into the machine. Just to find that these machines are broken as, well, you get the picture.
In the last 3 months, one dryer broke down at least 6 times. And when one dryer goes down, it's not simple, nor is it easy for CU. You see, all the washers and dryers on campus are owned and maintained by a third-party company, CSC Service Works. Speaking with an employee of CSC Service Works, I was informed that after a work order is placed, it should take them about 2 to 3 business days to get out there and get it fixed. Students here will say that is far from the case.
Like it works for 3 weeks and stops working forever, and we got to complain and write it on the boards, and then they'll come in and fix it again. But it takes like a week and then goes back to the same position.
Searching for reviews on Google, you'll find an overall rating of 1.2 stars, with other review sites not giving them much better. So what do residents do in these forever periods? Easy. They go to the next storm over. With the added stress of a whole nother haul's worth of laundry, it's not long until these machines break down too, causing them to go to the next, then the next, then the next. Then the cycle continues. It's not all bad news. As of yesterday, the machines were fixed in Cockrell and will hopefully stay like that. But if they don't, here are a few things you can do. Try hanging your laundry over chairs or other objects so they can dry. Or try using another CU third-party service known as Lazy Bones. Simply go to their website, set up a pickup and return time, and Lazy Bones will take your laundry, clean it, then return it to you. And hopefully, all of you will be able to stay clean out there. Derek Hernandez, NewsTeam Boulder.
CU settled a $5 million class action lawsuit. The suit alleged University of Colorado campuses should have refunded student fees for services that were canceled shortly after COVID hit. Students who attended in spring 2020 may be eligible to receive a small refund. CU denies any wrongdoing despite settling outside of court. More information can be found at cucovidsettlement.com. After the break, Carolyn Kelly will give us a weather forecast for the rest of this week.
Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Happy Wednesday, Buffs. I'm Carolyn Kelly, and I'll be taking you through the weather this week. Today in Boulder, we can expect some scattered showers this afternoon with a high of 54 degrees. Winds will pick up just slightly this evening, and temperatures will drop down to a low of 36 degrees. Moving on to the Colorado forecast. Temperatures will vary across the state, especially considering the precipitation and snow that is expected to fall across the northeastern region of the state and the Rocky Mountain region of the state. In the Denver-Boulder area, we can see temperatures of around 54 degrees, but as we move down south into Colorado Springs and up towards the mountains in the west, temperatures will range from a low of 16 and rise to only about 27 degrees up in the Breckenridge area. As for the rest of the state, temperatures will be pretty average for April, and they'll stay in the upper 40s to the low 50s. As for the national forecast, we can expect pretty significant precipitation across the whole country, but especially down in the southern states and then up in the northeastern states. This is because of this low pressure system that's moving from the west eastward across the country, and this pressure system is sucking all of that moisture up from the west and dropping all of that precipitation over the southern states, especially in Texas, where we can expect to see pretty significant rain and thunderstorms. For the 4-day forecast, tomorrow we can expect to see partly sunny skies with a high of 66 degrees, but breezy conditions will pick up later in the evening and will reach as high as 37 miles per hour. Temperatures will then drop down to 37 degrees with an 80% chance of precipitation, which can include rain and maybe even a little bit of snow. On Friday, we'll see partly sunny skies once again with a high of 53 degrees. Moving into the evening, temperatures will drop down to 37 degrees. Into this weekend, on Saturday, we'll start to see the sun just a little bit again. Temperatures will reach a high of 67 degrees and then drop down to a low of 41. And then temperatures will remain pretty consistent into Sunday with a high of 71 degrees and a low of 42 degrees once again. This weekend will be warm and sunny, which means it's a great opportunity to take advantage of outdoor activities, such as hiking the Flatirons or even fishing. After the break, Joe Jarrell will tell us all about fly fishing and the benefits that it can have for relieving stress. Don't go away.
Saturday's spring game honored 98-year-old cheer alum Peggy Kopman and her late sister Betty Hoover. We'd like to show you that heartwarming moment again.
Oh, I love you so much. Miss you. You made it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
CU superfan for the last 80 years.
Let's hear it for
She lost her twin sister Betty a few years ago. But Peggy is as fired up as ever. Deion Sanders paid a visit to her house. And what a moment for her. She's seen some good times. She's seen the bad times. And now she hopes to rebook this program with the arrival of Coach Prime.
That was adorable. Definitely a highlight of the game for me. Spring cleaning has begun and CU football has been scrubbing the roster for the past couple of weeks. So far, 17 CU football players have entered their name into the transfer portal, with the intent to transfer to a different school since the game on Saturday. This brings the total players transferring out since last fall above 30. By the start of fall camp, there is rumored to be as many as 70 total new football players. While some made the decision on their own, Coach Prime says that new players are inevitable.
The weather is warming up and students are itching to get outside and away from the stresses brought on by finals. NewsTeam Boulder's Joe Jarrell talks with a CU graduate who found an outlet to manage his stress through fly fishing.
Spring is a time when many people think of the weather warming up, plants beginning to bloom, and animals reemerging. Many people in Colorado start to get the itch to get outside and enjoy nature. For many students, however, this is a time synonymous with the stress of finals and finishing up projects. Many are looking for an easy way to de-stress here locally. What they don't know, however, is the key to their relief could be swimming down Boulder Creek. Fly fishing actually dates back to the 2nd century, but began growing in popularity around the 19th century. Now, it is often used as a recreational activity and a craft to constantly improve upon. Similar to golfers working on their swing, fly fishermen are always honing their craft as well.
Fly fishing is about more than recreation. It's about getting outdoors and away from the stresses of life. Ryan Jarvis, a CU Boulder graduate, often used it as a way for himself to decompress while he was in school. Now that he's graduated, he works as a guide to help others find a way to get away from their stresses in life.
I think, fly fishing is my biggest escape and biggest, meditation and therapy for me, because, you get done with a long day of work or school and you're kind of going through your head everything you've done in that day and the things you need to do. But the moment you go fly fishing, it just kind of all fizzles away. It's just you, the river, and the fish. And even when you're not catching fish, it's peaceful and you can, really take your mind off of everything else in the world.
Compared to the more common spin fishing, fly fishing may seem more complicated. Between figuring out which flies to use, learning to tie your flies, preparing your line, and learning to cast, many people are intimidated to try it out. Getting together with a guide is a great way to overcome that intimidation.
I think it's definitely less intimidating going with a guide. Your first time going out fly fishing, it can be a lot of I don't know if I'm doing this right, and I don't know, if this is if I'm casting at the right place or if there's fish here. And when you get to go with a guide, it kind of takes away a lot of that mystery because you have that mentor right there to, reassure that you are casting correct or in the right place. And the guides, they can be a little intimidating, thinking this is somebody that can fish really well, but all the guides are just out here because they love to take people fly fishing, so there's nothing to be scared of there.
And whether you catch a fish or just out enjoying the environment, Jarvis believes getting outside can really be beneficial to your mental health.
Even if you're not going to do it every single day, I think just being able to take that time and go outside and, enjoy your time by the river, fishing or not, I think it really does help a lot for, mental health and just, relaxing and getting away from the rat race and just, enjoying every day you can.
So next time you're looking to reel in those anxieties, head down to Boulder Creek and see if you can't hook a little stress relief. For NewsTeam Boulder, I'm Joe Jarrell.
What a great message. I mean, getting outside is so important for mental health.
My favorite way to do that is by laying out in the sun.
I'm here for the fish puns. Hopefully we finally reeled you in and caught your attention. This newscast sure has gone swimmingly, hasn't it, Mimi?
It sure has. We'll see you on Friday for our final episode this season.
I'm Piper Vaughn.
And I'm Mimi Herrick. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of NewsTeam Boulder.